Welcome to Crashing Game Night. My name is Matt Diorio. Tonight, Crashing Game Night with us is Insomniac writer Mary Kenney.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm so hello. It's so exciting to
You
be
can cheer
here.
for yourself. Come on now.
I'm so awesome. No, thank you for having me.
And as always, joined by the beanied one, Gerard Barra.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Oh,
thank
Lord.
you all for joining. Thank you, my nerds and lady. Mary, thank you so much for joining. So excited and ready to go. Ready to dive in.
Ready to talk about stuff. Yeah.
And
I have to admit that with your hands, Jerry, and because we had talked about it recently with Bring It On, I can only picture you in all black and just like thrusting your hips with the hands and everything. Like,
Yeah, you
Don't
know
forget
what?
the eyeliner.
Dude, you want to hear
totally
something
do
funny? My sisters loved that movie, and because
was it just
my
your sisters
older
though?
sister.
Was it just your sisters?
Okay.
No, because I did like the movie.
I
I learned
So,
that dance. I
of course-
learned the coach, like trying to teach. I learned that.
okay, so of course
course.
that is the baby face one, Theo Walski, that is throwing shade at the Spice Boy.
That's right.
Oh god. There's
Who's
a
right
story
though?
there.
You know, it's all good. It's all good.
And lastly, our maitre d' of services and guest hospitality, the man with the couch, the Lions man, Jason Valerio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? Mary, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the couch. Grab yourself a seat. You know,
I
maybe,
feel very hosted. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta feel relaxed. You know, you gotta just. It's been grooved on plenty of times.
I feel like that was the poor choice of words.
Probably, but it's
Yeah.
okay. It's all
We're gonna
good.
No,
slide
I
on
don't-
by that.
I don't disbelieve that happens, but
Gotta
Still.
shimmy, you know.
Okay.
Anyways, welcome.
You got to pick your spot. You got to choose your
pick
spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your
That's
spot.
your spot.
So how's everyone doing? Mary, you just recently had a vacation. How was it getting away from things?
It
little
was
while.
really nice because I did nothing. I
I
sat on
love
a beach.
those.
I
Yeah.
read books. I've been meaning to read all year, and I actually
See,
did it. It was
I
great.
like getting into those kind of debates because I honestly feel those are the best vacations to me too. Because I honestly feel you're taking time for yourself, you're
Yeah.
relaxing, you're recharging. I feel like if you go on a vacation, like you feel the need, like I got to utilize the time. So like you do the touristy stuff, you got to see the ruins or like the museums.
You put
And it
work
gets
into your
tiring.
vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think those are the best vacations, is just when, you know what, I did nothing for this past weekend.
Yeah.
I read 2 books and it was great. Yeah.
And I'm usually that obnoxious person, but this time my husband and I kind of like looked at each other and we were like, is there anything you want to do beyond nap? Because
See, isn't that the
really
greatest? Like, no, like we both
No,
agree,
just-
like, sweet, we're gonna do nothing. Like, yeah, let's do
we've
it.
been busy. We deserve it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's one of those things where it's just like, you know what?
Mhm.
You don't even know what you want to get for lunch. You just like, dude, I'm hungry. I should get something to eat.
And it doesn't
That's okay.
when you do all inclusive too, you get it like I didn't need to use any brain cells. I just stumbled in someone's direction and
nice.
said, please
Yes.
feed me.
That's
It
awesome.
was great. No thoughts.
Mary's just like, bring my food.
I did that, nothing happened, so that was a little weird. Like the light goes off and on.
You're like, ooh, look, there's candy over there.
We did have a Snickers bar in our room at all times, so they did keep her free.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Good vacation. But thank you for asking.
Good choice of chocolate bar. Good choice.
I'm more of a Hershey's with almonds.
Snickers all the way,
Just
man.
good old
Mhm.
classic.
I'm a Twix man.
Especially a
Almond Joy.
frozen Snickers. Frozen
But-
Snickers. Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Now, if we're going that route, it's frozen Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, frozen Reese's.
I've actually never
Actually,
done that
frozen
before.
Actually, I'm
I
different.
remember.
I'm a peanut butter Twix kind of guy.
Oh,
Jeez,
all right.
complicated.
That's a couple.
Oh,
Hey, at least he didn't always say like the left peanut butter twist.
this is
Yeah,
Oh.
no.
no. He's more
I
right
don't-
side.
Very funny.
Oh,
I was just about to say,
This
no,
is-
I don't choose sides. No,
no, you do. You really
I
do.
Right side.
So, anyways, on this St. Patty's Day, which
Yes.
Happy St. Patty's Day, everyone.
Dude.
Green?
So
Yep.
I gotta ask you, Mary, with you being up in Chi-town, how green is that river? Like, I see
I mean,
pictures,
it's not messing
but
around. Yeah, it's green. Like it is bright. The first time I saw it, I was like, "What?" Like it looks like a carpet has been laid out. It
I
is
looked it
bright
up
green.
once. I looked it up once. It was a couple tons of like green dye that they pour into the river, but
Yeah, the
it's
powdered-
safe though.
Yes, the powder they used to use. I don't know if they did this year because I didn't go. I'm sorry, but it used to be like bright orange, and then when it hits the water, it turns bright green. It's wild.
Oh.
It's super
Oh
weird.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, I
Nice.
looked up. They used a couple tons of it to get the whole river green. It's
Yep.
yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And it's like I often wonder, do pictures even do it justice?
Probably
I wonder
not.
too because
It's neon.
all I've ever seen were pics too, or maybe some footage, but I'm sure it's crazy to see it live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Most of the pics you look at it-
parade.
Yeah, you assume that they like have tweaked the colors to make them more intense, and it's like, no, that's just it. Like it is.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those out there in the gaming space that don't already follow Mary's Twitter account, which is hilarious, especially today.
Oh my
when
gosh.
You make a comment and then you post immediately, yeah, I forgot my husband follows me. I don't know, between you and Lindsay, I don't know which one's better on the Twitter accounts there. But anyway, so let's look at Mary's career. So first you studied journalism, public affairs, and psychology.
Dang.
I mean, that's a
Triple
That's
threat.
That's quite the
Threat
docket there. Jeez.
Well,
Yeah, what were you trying to be?
spoilers, I didn't know. So I studied journalism at Indiana University, and again, at the time, I don't know if this is still true, but at the time you had to choose a second major. So I switched my second major every, I don't know, 8 minutes. Like I could not decide what the second one was going to be. So I started out with philosophy, and then I went to linguistics, and then I went to psychology. And then I was like, I'm kind of over psychology, but I had the minor already. So I just kind of kept it and then went into public affairs, like in the
Nice.
last year of college, to be like, okay, I just gotta nail this down real quick. Yes.
So from a schooling perspective, you've also got your master's in game design at NYU at the prestigious Tisch School of the Arts.
Mm.
So-
Wow.
I studied there. I did not finish it, to clarify, but I do still get included in the alumni magazine. So
It's
I
it
don't know. Take that
counts.
way you will.
Counts.
It counts.
It counts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there for a year, and then I went to Telltale where I did an internship, and Telltale said, "Do you want to stay forever?" And I went, "Yep," and I didn't go back to school.
There you
That's how
go.
that happened. Yeah.
So real quick, with Telltale, were you on both sides? Were you everything prior to all the shakeup with the studio and everything, or were you both sides?
So I was one side. I was on the bad side. I was on no, I mean it was great. when I
Oh
was
no
there, but-
way.
Yeah, so I was brought on to Telltale in 2017, and
Okay.
then
Oh,
you know,
yeah, okay.
yeah, so the big layoffs happened. There was one round that year, and then the big one was the following year in
Yeah.
2018. And that was it for me.
Oh,
and then
bummer.
yeah, then
That
I
is
was
a bummer.
freelancing for about 6 months, and then I was hired at Insomniac. So that's
Yeah. So
Oh, good.
outside of that, so
Segues.
writing wise, you've appeared in multiple publications. New York Times, Kotaku, among some. Then you were a writer with, we were just talking about with Telltale.
Mhm.
So with Walking Dead and Enemy Within for the Batman series.
Oh, nice.
So those were that was in my telltale times.
Yep.
And that was not easy to say.
And then
Yeah.
and then you came on late with Insomniac for Ratchet and Clank, which is getting the multi-awarded Ratchet and Clank, very well deserved.
And
Well deserved.
well deserved. Thank you very much.
Such a great story.
And
Many
enjoyed the
shout
game.
outs to the team, because it was like I said, I joined it pretty late in production. I was just kind of there for final polish, final writing, but like Lauren, me, and Nick Folkman and Justin Fennessy were there for the whole thing. So I'm just like, shout out real quick, because they did an amazing job, and all these nods that they're getting,
everyone did. Yeah,
totally
were
deserved.
great.
Like,
And, you are on Miles Morales.
Yes.
And from what I see on
So
Twitter,
great.
you were pretty instrumental in bringing a character to life.
Yes, I was. That is why I was hired, was for Miles. So I had just come off Walking Dead the final season, which starred a bunch of teenagers in the apocalypse, and they were like, "Hey, you seem to like writing teenagers. Say more. Tell us more about that."
Yep.
And then in my interview with Insomniac, actually, Brian Intihar, who's the creative director of the first Spider-Man game, asked me, "Okay, like you've played the first game. We know this because we all follow you on Twitter, and you're like posting unhinged things."
Awesome.
So if you could do anything next, like if you could spin off anything, what would you do? And I was like, well, Miles is my favorite character. I love that dude. And he's like, okay, don't.
Oh, nice. Oh man.
So,
you
like
guys
I
were
s-
already in sync.
That's what I said.
Right?
I don't know
So,
whose
like-
account is funnier when it comes to Insomniacs, you or Lindsay, because you guys both post some pretty.
Is this like presidential election? Do it like where we have to vote? Because I'll vote for Lindsay. Like I am not.
I mean, our mutual friend Mo Chocolate,
Yep.
he's like besties with her, so it's
Yep.
like, yep. So we kind of got to with Mo sometimes. And then you're also working on Wolverine, which I'm going to say this for our listeners and whatnot, there are going to be absolutely zero spoilers, questions, or anything involving Wolverine. So if that's why you're here, I'm sorry.
Just
So sorry.
all I gotta
But-
say, I'm excited. I can't wait. I think you guys are gonna do a great job. I'm so excited.
Me too.
You just can't talk about it, and we won't talk about it. So,
We'll talk about
it.
and then finally, you have a forthcoming book coming out called Gamer Girls, which is about the women who have built the video game industry.
Mhm.
Nice.
Fantastic. So, so when you look at your broad area of study, so linguistics, journalism, public affairs, all of that, what made you gravitate towards the gaming industry?
Yeah. So I love storytelling, first of all. And when I went to college, I knew I wanted to be a storyteller, but I'm from Indiana, from a very practical family that was like, you are not going to do creative writing. Excuse you. You're going to do something really pragmatic. So I went for journalism, which, as it turns out, also is not the easiest thing to break into, but that is what I studied. So I studied journalism. I, as you said, went on to work New York Times and later on Kotaku. But I always loved games. I grew up with games. The first game I played came out, I think, when I was 11, Neverwinter Nights on my computer.
Oh,
I fell in love with it. I thought it was the coolest.
Dang, call back. I like
Yeah,
that.
right.
It's a throwback.
Cool. Yeah,
Oh, the
way
way
throwback. It takes me back now. Cool.
So I totally fell in love. And then as much as my journalism career was going well, but I didn't really enjoy it. Like, it was fine. So after a couple years, I was thinking, what should I do instead? Like, I know I want to go to grad school. I know I want to do something else. And I love games so much. I think about them all the time. I play them all the time. I thought maybe I'll apply to game design at NYU and we'll see where that goes. And as we just recapped, it went pretty well, and I kept doing the storytelling thing, and that's how I got here.
So as part of that journey, though, looking at some research, you actually taught?
So I actually teach now. That's actually a new addition.
Okay.
So yeah.
Congrats.
So, thank you.
It
That's
seemed
awesome.
like it seemed like past tense. So that's why I was like, you taught?
No, what? No, last semester. So last fall was my first time teaching. I taught narrative design at Indiana University.
Dang.
Because they now
That's
they
very
now have
cool.
they now have a game design department. They did not when I was an undergrad, but they now do in the media
Oh,
school.
sweet.
Yeah, so it was me and 18 students and me yelling about like themes and Ludo narrative and stuff, and they all seemed to like it. So yeah, it was I really enjoyed teaching. I will probably do it again, maybe, hopefully.
So what was your favorite part about teaching that class when you're teaching something that's very much a central part of your career in your life right now?
Yeah, part of it, so a big part of the class was them writing, and a lot of them hadn't really had any script writing experience before. So getting to kind of nurture them, I don't want to use that, but like getting to help them
Groom
go
them.
from yes,
Meld,
no, wait,
meld
hate it
them.
more. No, wait, wait, not that. But go from outline to final polished script is what we really focused on all semester. That is what you do in my job, and getting to go through those steps with them and give them feedback was awesome. It was really fun for me. It's something I like to do anyway, and just seeing them be really proud of their scripts was like, I was like warm in the heart. So I'm just sitting there very proud, like at the end of the semester.
Nice.
That was great. Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
when you look at that, right, that the whole polished script, right, because you've been part of different projects in themselves, right? Between you look at the choose your own adventure like Batman and Walking Dead versus pure storytelling like Miles Morales and Ratchet, when they have established histories, right? Which is it harder to write for?
The thing I'm working on right now is the hardest, no matter what. Like anything that I'm writing in present tense is going to be the hardest thing, right? Because I don't know how to do it yet. But I think they're just hard in different ways, right? Because when you have stories, I'm going to separate out some of those. When you have a story where dialogue is a mechanic, you have a dialogue wheel that enables you to have a lot more dialogue because it is part of the gameplay loop. When you lose that, you don't have a dialogue loop anymore. You're essentially hitting pause on the game every time you need to freeze, cut scenes or just even freeze gameplay and have audio play. So how do you do that in a way that is compelling, that is exciting for the player, that is as visual as it is audio, is something I have had to worry more about on Miles than say Walking Dead, where I had this dialogue wheel where I could do everything all I wanted.
Yeah.
So that's a big difference. The established characters, so I've mostly worked on IPs, and the only game I've made that wasn't in an IP was historical fiction. So they all have something in common, which is lots of research. You do a lot of reading, you take a lot of notes. And from there, the good thing about that is as you're doing that research, certain themes start to shake out that make sense for those characters, and that's always really exciting.
To this point, leaving out what's being worked on, have you had a favorite project that you worked on that you wrote for?
Oh, it's like choosing among my children.
I have three, and I can probably choose an A, B, and a C.
Wow. He was like, yo.
But that can change by the hour. Theo knows my kids. Jerry knows my kids. So yes, they know that it can become ABC at any point in time. One moves up the pecking order.
I would say it's probably a pretty strong tie between Miles Morales and Walking Dead, the final season. Because Miles Morales was my first AAA game. The cast was so much fun just to work with. The team was so much fun to work with. I was learning a ton while I was there, and I got to work on pieces of the story that meant a lot to me. You know, I created characters who I liked a lot. I got to do a quest line set in Harlem that was all about falling in love with the neighborhood that I really liked. That was all great. Walking to the final season meant a lot to me because I wrote a romance between the main character and another woman. It was the first time I've gotten a chance to do that. I'm a bisexual woman. It meant a lot to me to be able to do that and to be able to write. I mean, what was the first queer player character in Telltale's history? It was pretty great. Like that, was nice.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I have a tattoo from that one. So like that one.
Oh,
no
nice.
way.
To commemorate
That's awesome.
it? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't have a Miles one yet, but soon.
I mean, but you have a hand in diversity. I mean, when you look at even with Miles Morales, right? Especially with Hannah, you know, being
Haley.
or Haley rather,
Yeah,
being a deaf character, right? And having to work that in the story. And that's amazing because you don't really see a lot of that represented in gaming at all.
Right.
Especially when you see it's wanted more in gaming and in film. I think it's finally getting explored to where it could work. It could work in scenes. It can work in games. You just have to adjust. But you could still forward the story. And then you have a more diverse character, which makes the whole project more lively and more colorful. I love it. Yeah, I really liked that character. I thought it was a really nice surprise.
Yeah, I liked her too. I can't say enough good things about her and her actress. And I mean, everybody we worked with to get those scenes right. The actual like deaf actors who looked at the scene and went, okay, well, you know, in film, a lot of the time when you're filming ASL, you're filming these beautiful close-ups of hands. But that's not actually accurate because we also communicate with our faces. So we're using our hands, we're using our faces, we're using everything. So like you know, and giving us advice like that we wouldn't have known otherwise, that really made those scenes so much better than like, you know, I was like to tell the story of the day that we were on the performance capture stage. We were capturing the ASL and, you know, both of our deaf actors looked at my scripts and went, hey, we don't want to be mean, but like, this is not how we would say this. And I was like, freaking bless you. Yes, let's fix it. Because the last thing I want to do is put something out there that sucks, that is not accurate, right? So we all kind of got to collaborate and improve it there. And it was really nice.
I mean, that's super encouraging that you guys actually use ASL actors for the roles, you know, because that's a lot of times too, as you see things and stories in gaming that they don't always use the right representation or whatever. So that's awesome that you guys were like, hey, sure, let's change it. Let's make it right. And I think that's what makes Insomniac in itself so good at the games they make though, too, is because of pushing the envelope on things like that. So when you look at everything kind of going on in the current scape, after you did all your research and everything, you kind of look at the current scape where we see those stories of discrimination in the industry as a whole, right? And we're not picking on any individual studios or whatever, right? It's just as a whole, right?
What shall not be named.
What words of encouragement can you provide to a woman that's actually looking to break into an industry that is having some of that vitriol going on right now?
Yeah, I think those stories are so important, and I'm so glad that, you know, people are being listened to who historically have not been. But I also think, and this is the intro of the book, it is frustrating to me when the only times that we're interviewing women or women are, you know, invited to speak out, it's about harassment. Like, I think it's important that we also celebrate how many wins people, like marginalized people, have as well in this industry, that they're founding studios and people are they're making award-winning games. It's not just women get to talk when they're harassed. That's not, you know, that's not enough. So what I would say to the women trying to break in who are seeing all these stories, you know, look at the wins too. Know that this can happen and this can be part of your future too. And at the end of the day, when you break into the industry, the most important thing is going to be to trust yourself. If you're at a studio and it's not, it doesn't treat you well, you don't have to stay there. They don't have power over you, hopefully. I completely understand that privilege ties in hugely here, but so many times women I talk to in this industry, the people around them are telling them that what they're going through is not a big deal. It's not bad. And that's why they're staying in environments that aren't treating them well and aren't valuing them. And that sucks. And the truth is, like, they don't deserve you if they don't know how to treat you. So if you can, please find people within the studio that can help you, or leave the studio if you can. Find other people in the industry who can help you. Like, there are so many good people here as well. That would be what
if it doesn't feel right, go with your gut.
Trust yourself. You
yourself.
know yourself best. You know how you're being treated. Don't let people tell you that you're not feeling the right way, because you know.
Yeah.
Right. It's a great piece of advice. That's great.
So far with Insomniac, what's set them apart with, like, the support that they've given you, comparative to what we've seen going on in the industry?
Yeah, I think the thing that impresses me the most about Insomniac, and the reason I've been there, now 3 years this month, is Insomniac's willingness to grow and learn and change when given feedback. And that's true in our games and also just in our culture, is that I don't think any studio that exists has a perfect track record of treating every marginalized community perfectly. But I do think the studios that are going to continue to do well in this arena, and Insomniac is one of them, are the ones who hear that feedback, hear how they have not been treating people well, and take active steps to be better. Bring in people who can educate everyone else, make sure that people who have caused harm are not able to do so anymore. Insomniac has been really good about taking that feedback and taking steps. And I think, that's really, really encouraging.
That is. I think, honestly, to that point, though, I think any industry, for that matter, we see enough of it going around that I think it's great that a company can step forward and say, our bad. We, whatever it is, and let's change it. Let's make it better, which I think you look at. I think arguably right now, Insomniac is probably one of the, for me, just everything from the community managers to, even Ted Price, right? It seems like probably one of the, just bar none, one of the best studios, personally, just from an overall perspective, not just the games that they crank out, right? Let's talk about Spider-Man, Miles Morales, even
but the atmosphere,
just the atmosphere, and Ted's kind of always teaching too, because he did that stretch there where he was doing like the developers sit down, right, where he was sitting down with different devs and talking with them, and I think that's how you grow too. You always take the feedback and learn from others. So when it comes to your book, when can people expect to actually see it officially in the wild?
It is coming out this summer. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
The clock is ticking.
Yeah, so the reviews are starting to trickle in. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so a few more months, but you can slam that pre-order button. It's definitely linked on my Twitter. Don't worry about it. But it can be pre-ordered right now from, wherever books are sold near you.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, which you kind of posted that first review up on your Twitter today, and then you started your music great. But honestly, your first one though, it's from Kirkus Reviews, and it was a solid reference work that shows aspiring female game developers the legacy they'd be joining, which it is a legacy when you look at it. Is these women paved the way for some of that opportunity.
They
So-
absolutely did. Yeah. And they like women didn't just join the industry in the 2000s. It's just such a good feeling to know that we're connected to all these women who were working this industry for that long. Like it just
It's just
made
sad
me
that
feel like
we didn't know about that, and
Yeah.
that
It
number
is.
that number is still staggering to me.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
maybe departments were predominantly women, and we didn't know that. And those games we loved,
Yeah.
during those eras. That's so crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I think you can draw the parallel to like what was going on with that they showcased in the movie Hidden Figures about NASA,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And the women
Actually, that's
that
a good
were
example.
the backbone of NASA at that point. That
Mhm.
honestly,
no one knew.
that mission would never have happened successfully without those women.
Yep.
So, and I think the same thing as we said with the gaming industry. You've got even women now, like you look at what Jade Raymond and Bonnie Ross and Sarah Bond that are just knocking down walls, and I think that's amazing that you are part of that, breaking down those walls to help say, hey, this is what you guys are coming into. This is those that came before you. Let's learn. So
Yeah.
So let's talk about some games, because you are, when you look at your Twitter, part of it is you like RPGs.
I sure do. I sure
So
Nice.
which we've got a Square Enix nerd in our midst. But
Anytime Square Enix, notify me, come at me.
Every time.
Every
Like,
yeah.
but
I mean, he's got to
Sid,
plug
I
it.
got you.
He's got it. I mean, so
yeah.
what is your, what RPG is your go-to?
I mean, go-to is interesting because it's what has the most hours from me. It's gonna be Skyrim. It has like something like 600. It's bonkers because anytime I'm like, I'm writing a million stories, I don't have energy for a lot of story. I just want to go be a sneaky archer.
I totally
very
get that.
badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
So that
It's
one's
that
definitely
comfort
got,
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, what's going on already, but you're just like, I'm just playing this again. Like,
It's like Red Dead.
yeah,
I
I'm about to
gotta
say
do the
Jerry's
Thieves
Red
Guild
Dead.
again. I gotta
Do not.
I gotta do.
No.
They all know.
We are
Yeah,
not
they all
getting
know.
started.
They know what
Yeah.
my
we are
comfort
not getting
game is.
started on Red Dead. No.
Nope.
That's banned.
Yeah.
No, it's Jerry will go on and on about Red Dead. We will be here all night. And
Oh yeah.
And he
And he'll
still
just-
hasn't
and-
invited me to be a posse man.
That's so funny.
I'm sorry, dude.
Literally like an hour ago, I texted my friend, I think I might start Red Dead 2 again.
Oh, do it. Oh, yes. I've already done 4 runs.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
okay.
Chef's
Only
Jason-
4
absolutely.
runs.
Yeah.
Four.
Yeah.
4 runs.
So Jason, we
The
know the
fifth
whole
is coming
reason
up now.
we know the whole reason you haven't gotten an invite. It's because you didn't want to play Division with us when we were playing.
Yeah.
okay,
And then you
bro.
told us, hey, by the
I
way,
get
I'm playing
it.
with
Well, I got
I'm
Division.
playing with coworkers.
Hey,
Just
by
out of the
way,
blue. I'm
Yeah.
playing Division.
That hurt. That you know what? That
hurt.
the scar is still there.
Jerry, who called me when you were in Long Beach just this last couple weeks ago?
I did. I
Oh.
texted. I did, and I texted.
Or who called Jason when he knew about PS5s being on?
Yeah.
in
I
stock?
redeemed
in
myself.
stock.
I redeemed myself. I called the last
Yeah.
3 times I heard of more PS5s coming in.
Mhm.
Boom.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
First-
yeah.
First
Uh-huh.
text.
Mhm.
So
So I'm not in the hot corner that much.
There's
That
so
much-
much
a
tea
little bit
being
more than the
spilled,
rest of us.
I had to sip it. I wanted
Oh,
to
yeah.
join.
this is what we do. We do not let some things go sometimes. But that being said, so what is your favorite game of all time?
Dragon Age Origins. That's my favorite.
Hey, she
Oh,
was
man.
quick
Wow.
on that.
That was quick. I
Well,
finished
that-
that game too. That was a good game.
That was the game that got me back into video games. I kind of stopped playing them in high school. I think I was just busy. I was just a very busy person. But I stopped playing them for a while, and then I got back into them in college when Dragon Age came out my freshman year. And then I was playing it again when I decided, maybe I should go to grad school for this, because I think about the narrative structure of this game all the freaking time. I could
That
get
is
TED
awesome.
talk on this, like, for sure.
That's so
I've
funny.
got
That was actually my
tattoos.
first Dragon Age game that I ever
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah.
I love
such a
Dragon
good
Age
game.
Origins.
Me too.
So
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to try it was, I don't know if you remember that cinematic trailer of the two characters fighting each other.
Yep.
I
yep.
still have that video saved. That like it was a
Oh.
good trailer.
It's funny, like, yeah, there's so much I love about that
Yeah.
game. It's so good. Yeah. And, I mean, obviously, like, if you do follow me on Twitter and you have seen my many thirst tweets, BioWare's just got my number. Like, it's just big, and I'm playing all their
Oh,
games.
Mass Effect.
Yeah. I just replayed Mass Effect Legendary when it came out last year. So
Yeah, see?
Oh, nice.
I still need to finish 2 on that one.
See,
Yeah.
but
I keep getting distracted though. We've got too many good games
too many good games
that are coming
Yeah,
out.
I'm stuck
and
on Horizon, but
I
I still
mean-
need
Yeah.
to do 2 and 3.
I
mean,
haven't finished
between-
3 because now I'm in Horizon, and then I was
Mhm.
trying
So
Elden Ring.
good.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I blame PlayStation though for where I'm at right now. Just no. I mean that with all the love in the world, because
I will never say anything bad about the
Well,
PlayStation.
no, it's
It
the
is.
fact is- it's
I
just there's
think
been
it's
so many great
perfect.
games. It's been so many great games that have been coming out that it's like I keep playing those
Mhm.
and going back to those worlds. Like
Yeah.
I have played Uncharted, I don't know how many times, in the second 4 and 5 release for the PS5. I'm like, well, let's go right back on into it.
Yeah.
And the same thing. Now we're back into Horizon and Gran Turismo and stuff. So it's my wallet is screaming.
one of the things that was wild about joining a Sony studio is all of a sudden working with the people who made like those sequences that really stuck with me. An example would be I was on the performance capture stage one day, and I was describing to a guy, one of my favorite sequences in any game is the top of Uncharted 4, where you're doing the diving sequence, and
Yes.
yeah, and then like
You
the
just
reveal
said
is,
you
like,
just said Matt and I's
Yeah, yeah,
favorite
yeah.
franchise. Like that's our
I-
all-time character. I love that character in that franchise.
I do, and I love that whole sequence where it's like teaching you about like how much he's not into his life. Oh my god, it's not for treasure; it's just like salvage.
Mhm.
Like I love that opening sequence, and I'm telling this to one of our lead animators on Miles, and I'm like, oh, and it's so brilliant. You gotta see, because like the storytelling of it is none without any words. And he's like,
Mhm.
yeah, so I did that. So I
That's
was the animator.
awesome.
Zach.
All right,
Like,
well,
I'm
gonna
glad you got
walk
it.
out
I'm
and
glad you
never come back.
understood.
I'm
That's
gonna
so
disappear
awesome.
into the forest. Bye.
Did you bombard them with like a bunch of questions? They're like, oh my god, like that's amazing.
I'd been talking so much, I was too embarrassed. I was just like, ooh,
Like,
hi.
I'm gonna-
It's like-
Okay.
I'm gonna go now.
Okay.
Well, later days, I'm gonna get in my
Bye.
car and drive.
But I think that's
Bye.
But I think those types of moments though are what make PlayStation Studios so good.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I mean, which studio? I mean, we're talking Sony Santa Monica or Insomniac, or
You get it
even,
from all of their
Bend.
games,
It's
whether-
all
yeah.
of them.
Whether
Is the
it's Ratchet and
storytelling.
Clank, you get those, you get a moment, and then Miles, you get those moments, and the storytelling's just so amazing.
I
God
mean-
of War, Uncharted,
Yeah.
Horizon,
Mhm.
just
And I-
such great games from Sony.
Yeah.
And I know he doesn't get it yet because he doesn't understand story or anything like that. But Cody, my son, depending on, he's on Mario Maker now. That's his kick right now. But for a while there, it was Rift Apart. That's all he wanted to play was Rift Apart and just go
Yeah.
around. Especially like he didn't care about Ratchet. He wanted to play his Rivet. There was something he loved about Rivet. And
that was a
it's
cool
like-
addition too. I really liked
Oh
it.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
she was cool.
And he loved running around as Miles,
Yeah.
just swinging around
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and whatnot. And I just make sure to load him in on my file where everything was completed, so he didn't jump into mad groups of enemies.
Sorry.
Stop 'em. And he loves Astro, but it's like he gravitates to those things, and it's like I think that was the greatest moment though is with Rift Apart. Though is he wanted to play those levels with Rivet and Clank, and he just loves it. He loves
Mhm.
gaming, and it's great to see those sorts of things coming out of games like that.
Yeah.
Yes, dear.
I think.
Hi. My wife just decided to peek in. Welcome to game night.
Hello.
Jerry. My wife says hi.
Ew.
So
What's up?
normally when we do this live, my wife pops in and in the chat and says hi to everybody and whatnot. So, but that's
It's
She
always
doesn't,
you-
she
it's
doesn't
always
necessarily
you to
say
me.
hi to Jerry.
She doesn't say hi to me.
Never.
No, she
Never
says
has.
ew.
There's
That's
their
our greeting,
version
but that's
of
our
hi.
greeting. Like, ew,
It's
it's you. Like, ew, it's you too.
I don't even remember
So-
how it even started. But
I
we were
don't.
in the middle
I
of-
don't
I thought you were
remember
talking
either.
about the Jimmy Fallon skit like all the time, and that's how it
Oh,
happened.
Yeah.
we were in the
No.
middle of playing Black Ops.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know,
that's right.
something.
Oh, the golden
Yeah,
days. God, I
the
miss
golden
those
days.
I was
Um,
about to say, are we about to like read the opening of Romeo and Juliet? Like, we don't know how the families have been feuding this long. We don't know what's up anymore.
Kinda.
Like,
but this one's a little bit more epic because involves mannequin arms and knives and
way better. Yeah,
And
no,
Jerry
I
around.
I have
it.
my own game session named after me in the dictionary.
in Urban Dictionary.
In the Urban
Urban
Dictionary.
yes.
It's a Jerry round.
Jesus.
Yep.
God, I can't
It
believe
was
Wow.
that bad
I can't
that
believe- Steven.
Wow.
Steven got me. He got me. He
Yeah,
got
but
the
hold on though.
he judo got me. I
but
can't get him
who's
back. That's
who's the
literally
one-
in
No, hold on though. Who's the one that put it in the Urban Dictionary?
No, okay, yeah, that was you.
No,
Thank
it
you.
wasn't
Thank
me.
you. Oh no,
No,
that was
that's
the
Jason.
wife.
No,
Wasn't that? Who put that in?
was it? I thought it was you, Theo.
No.
Was you? Then it was my wife. So,
Yeah, I think it was the
That
wife.
had been
The wife
right
put
then.
that in.
So
Ugh,
anyway, so
never gonna live it down.
with
Ever.
with all
I
this,
mean, at least your Urban Dictionary is like not that bad. I mean, at least it uses
Yeah,
your
it's
name.
all right.
I have adorable in Urban Dictionary.
that is
so
yeah.
adorable.
and that's
though.
staying there
It is
for a long
adorable.
time.
Yes, it is.
Pretty adorable,
so-
man.
Mary, so with all the travel you've been doing and work and stuff like that, do you even really have time to play games right now?
Sometimes,
And if you
occasionally.
and if you
Occasionally.
do, are you traveling with like a setup?
I've got my Switch will come with me, so that's
Okay,
kind of
cool.
it.
That's usually what
but-
I do too.
Yeah,
Solid.
but I can't imagine lugging my PS5 around. Like, it's like my own Keurig machine. Like, that's how big it is. It would be like,
I would only imagine if you had like one of those setups where like it's in
Like
the
in a
box, then
suitcase.
you open it and it's a screen like the
That-
Like
whole
the old PS1 days where they had
Yeah.
the portable screen on it.
They had those for PS3 too. I saw them all over
Yep.
cons and everything. Like,
and
Yeah.
they have
I
them for
wanted one.
PS5 and the new Xboxes too.
Mhm.
oh, do they?
They're
I
on-
say,
yeah, they're on
I
Amazon.
wish I was that cool. That would be great. Yeah.
So Mary, are you still rocking the white setup on your PS5, or did you actually go with one of the new colors?
I got the plates and I haven't put them on yet. I keep kind of mentioning to my husband, if someone put them on, no one would be mad.
But things aren't clicking, huh?
Yeah, he's not even in town right now. So what the
Oh.
hell? man?
Dude,
What?
no, my wife did the same thing to me. She's like, oh, you know what? The black plates on the PlayStation 5 look pretty good. I'm like, I
Yeah,
like
they
it
do.
white. I like it. I like the white
Oh,
plates.
no, they-
Like,
I
it's
just
like,
not
yeah,
even-
but it's like PS2
Wasn't
has
clicking.
black, the PS3 is black, the PS4 is black, and I'm like, but it's it looks.
Well, they could do it. I simply don't want to. He's like, you work on PlayStation games. Why don't you do this? I'm like, because I already did the effort then, man. Help out here, my dude.
I'm on
That's
this
perfect.
side of the PlayStation. You need to be on
Yeah.
that side, please.
There's your mic drop. I already wrote the story for you.
It's
Do
just like
you
the
see?
restaurant. Just like
What's
the
on the
restaurants.
fresh
Front of
new
the house.
releases list, my man?
Yeah.
You-
Restaurant, front of the house, back of the house. Oh, I work the back of the house. What? Like, I'm not talking to a customer. Oh,
Yeah.
out front of the house, they're yelling about you're not cooking this right. Like, oh,
So I gotta ask you, because you mentioned Horizon earlier, how far into Forbidden West are you?
not super far thanks to travel, and it's also thanks to me messing around, because I'm like, well, there is the main story, but also
Yep.
I could
there's
swim
question marks
for 2 hours.
All those
so
question
many
marks.
question marks. Just-
I'm the same way. I think we all are. We all just explore, want to see, like, okay, can't do this yet.
I'm like a little kitten with a ball. Oh, look, a kitty. It's
It's- I have coined it with my wife. It was literally called squirreling, because you just,
Yes.
squirrel,
It's a squirrel.
and squirrel,
Squirrel.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, the dog and up.
You
You
have to keep going
Doug.
around.
That is.
Yeah.
I was talking to Jerry about it the other day. I am now level 35, and I'm 40 plus hours in.
Yeah.
How
And
far in the story are you?
I just found Poseidon.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
I don't
So
think I'm even
I'm
that
restoring.
far.
I'm restoring Gaia, and I'm still like, I still have half the map to even unlock. Like, it's still fogged
Yeah,
over.
That's
on-
right.
Yeah.
You're still pretty early, man.
Yeah.
That's
I keep
so
going
insane.
back to
and you're
stuff.
at 30. That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep going back to. And I'm
You need to
almost
work a little bit harder.
Didn't you finish upgrading like one
I
of
have-
the skill trees?
stealth is completely done, and
Oh,
as
dang.
of this morning, Hunter only has 1 slot left.
Damn.
Wow.
And that's done.
All right.
Sweet.
All right.
Nice.
Dude, by the way, I love the strike little mini game that they have. Oh my
Mhm.
god.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what?
that's fun.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a lot of
Definitely
If,
an
if,
upgrade.
if
It's
they made
definitely
that
a
into an actual
well-done,
board game, I would
sequel.
probably buy it. I'd probably buy it.
I also I am
I bet
very-
it'd come out.
Yeah. Part of the problem is that I am also very distracted by other games though too. Like, I'll be playing Horizon and I'm like, man, I should do that other thing I was planning to do in, I don't know, Skyrim, or I fired up Darkest Dungeon, or I fired up I was trying to get, back into Mass Effect 3. I was trying out Elden Ring. So I'm also just like, every morning is a battle between 6 games for my
Oh,
yeah.
attention.
It sounds like
Backlog.
Jerry.
The
Sounds like
backlog
Jerry.
is real.
Mm.
Backlog is real for everybody right now.
Backlog is real for everybody.
I was
Honestly,
doing
it's
so
gonna be-
well.
But I make
caught up.
zero
I had
progress
2
on my
games.
backlog all the time.
I was so close to getting caught up on my backlog. I only had 2
You
more
did
games
get
to
really
finish.
close.
I
you
got
did,
really
you did,
close.
you did.
You did
I
get
took
really
one
I mean,
close.
it
weekend
only-
and I
hold
like
on.
destroyed like 3
And
games.
then
But-
this season started, so it's just gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
I mean,
It's
how long
back to
did it
build
take
up.
you to finish Final Fantasy?
Jeez.
Oh, shut up.
I
was like one.
We're
I'm like,
going on
I don't know
3
why.
years,
I
close to
don't know
3
why.
years.
No,
No,
but
so-
I don't know why it took me like so long to finish that one chapter.
I
And
mean,
you
it
guys
only
were right.
talk.
I was
it
so
took-
close. The moment I finished it, I was like,
Ah.
damn, I like, okay. Like,
So
that's
there
on-
was
Literally
that's on
told
me.
you.
We
How many
literally told
occasions
you.
did we talk to Final Fantasy VII people? Like, even had dinner with John Brentley like twice before you even finished the game.
Yeah. Valerie, everyone was like, "Don't you'll finish
yeah.
it?" Like, but
We were
like,
all in it. We
oh,
were all in
fuck.
LA in November. We went and saw John Bentley, who's the voice actor behind Barrett, and Austin Lee Matthews is the voice behind Roche. We're all at dinner, and he still hadn't finished the game yet.
Yeah. They all were like, so like, what's taking so long, dude? Like, you know what?
they
I'm
gave
just-
him. They gave him.
I got
a lot
lazy.
of smack.
Sorry.
So
I will say, someone who's been in many interviews with people who haven't played any of my games, though, I would have been like, look, you do you. Like, games are long. Like,
Oh, they are.
But I did finish it. I finally finished it, and I knocked out like 2 other
Yeah.
games with it, and I got close to finishing my backlog, but no more.
I mean, I think they're like, part of that is they're long because game devs are giving us so much in games now.
Yeah.
You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
And
I
you
mean,
feel
look
like
at, you know-
captured by the story and everything.
I love, but I also love the fact that like this was even in Spider-Man and Miles that I also just absolutely loved in those games.
I just love swimming.
That not only we can get into the mechanics and everything. It was all amazing, but I appreciate when devs take the time to put in like a lot of Easter eggs, but meaningful Easter eggs.
Mm.
You know, like Uncle Ben's grave, like that.
Mhm.
That was such a cool like trophy to
Or,
get just to visit it, and or
Yeah.
like
Putting the bodega cat in,
yeah, the
which is
bodega
straight
cat.
from the comics.
What was the Vanishing Dog, the big dog. I forgot his name. Not from the Eternals, but from the
Yeah, I'm blanking too.
Black Bolt's dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I forget his name, but I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Immortals dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Immortals dog.
Immortals,
Yeah, it was. There was a statue of him like in one of the parks. I love those little things. Or Murdoch, Matt Murdoch's Daredevil's law office. So cool. I love those little things.
I think it's one of the great things about working on, bigger teams, because you have so many people like pitching those ideas, is one thing that I teach a lot in my narrative design class. And one thing that I think Sony studios are just so good at across the board is whenever you're telling a story, you have a lot of tools in your toolbox, right? You have audio, you have visuals, you have environments, you have, there's so many options in how do I want to tell this story. And Sony games typically are really good at knowing which tools to use when. Do we need VO here? Do we need just animation here? Do we need a new environment here? There's really good at knowing how to use all those tools. And when you have these big talented teams, of artists and of designers and of everybody who can pitch something like, all right, we're going to put up a statue, we're going to put in, Uncle Ben's grave. Like it's really exciting because it's not just the story department saying, this is how we're going to fill the entirety of New York City, which would be a lot for anybody. But, it's the whole team kind of working on that stuff together.
The only thing that was missing was the Ghostbusters firehouse.
Oh,
I spent so much time in the original Spider-Man game trying to find it. Like I literally pulled up the map of New York City for the exact location.
Oh, really?
And tried to find it in the game. The street is not there.
No comment.
No, I don't blame you. No, it was just one of those things. It's like, it's things like that though. You're like, they're so detailed and stuff that it's like, man, can I find it? But it was great seeing.
It leaves you with that question, like, I wonder if they did this. But it's so vast and so well done.
Yeah.
Well, and I had moved from New York City to California like about a year before the game came out, and so it was super nostalgia life. Like I was texting all my New York friends constantly, like, oh my god, I feel like I'm there. But like it was great.
Awesome.
It was good.
It is great, and it brings back memories. Like when I play the game, just being there, going as a kid and as an adult, and whatnot, and finding some of those places we used to go to. So, so Mary, we're one of those things that we do ask all of our guests is when you are able to, now that especially now COVID restrictions are starting to kind of lift and whatnot, we kind of get back to life and stuff. But what is one of your favorite games to play for game night when you actually are able to have them with your family and friends, regardless if it's a board game, video game, card game, whatever it is? What is that favorite game you guys love to play?
It is called Metagame, just one word. It is a card game, and I love it. It's so much fun. It's basically like 7 games in one using one stack of cards, and the cards are they're either like fun. They're 2 stacks. There's like fun facts, and then there's like questions, and there's all these games that it's kind of similar to like apples to apples, except like way more fun, and everybody can be really snarky about it. And it's just, it's really good. It's made by, I learned about it at NYU. I was helping like display it at various game festivals, and I was like, this is kind of dope. I kind of want to buy this. I kind of need this. So I bust that bad boy out no matter where I go.
I'm going to check that out. That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Cool. I'm already looking at it.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the website right now.
Check it out.
It rules. The timeline game is far and away my favorite, because timeline, like you all have all these, like you can't look at the years on your cards of the fun facts, and other people around the table have to try to guess like where do we put it in the timeline. So to be like, was Barbie invented before Wonder Woman or after? And you're like, well, I don't freaking know. And like that's it's really fun.
Theo, I'm looking at this. We're in trouble. I think this is one.
This looks pretty
for game night.
This is pretty bomb, dude.
Yeah.
Like even the expansions too.
Yep.
Game expansions, sci-fi, film 101. Like
Oh, no.
I'm game for
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sweet.
think we might have to talk about getting this for the next game night once we get it scheduled. So Mary, where can our listeners and viewers, once we get this eventually posted up, find you on social media?
Twitter's it. I was born there and lived there. No, my handle is Mary K News. I tweet about games I'm playing and things I'm writing, and that's mostly it. And I don't know, various things I think are cool. That's the one I use the most. I'm fastest on the draw with that one. I don't really think I'm using anything else right now, actually. There's that one, and then I just have a website with my contact information, which is marykgames.com.
Yep.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, Mary, it was an absolute blast having you on and talking about writing and whatnot. So to all of our listeners, if you enjoyed what you heard, make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button on the platform you are listening to us on tonight, or head on over to crashinggamenight.com, check out our past episodes. And just as always, guys, especially in these times of everything that's going on, both domestically and internationally, please just be excellent to each other and stay frosty.
That's right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, Mary. We had an amazing time, and thank you for all of your knowledge and your insight. This was very interesting, and I had a great time. And I also want to say thank you to all the listeners and viewers. Once again, the struggle is still out there. We need to support our Black Lives Matter, stop that Asian hate, and please support your LGBTQ plus community. If you see something, record it or try and help, lend a hand. But most of all, let's please try and promote more love and compassion and patience, and
Be better.
And let's just try and be better. All right, guys. All right, nerds. Thank you so much. And Mary, a little Easter egg for you. Sit.
Oh my Lord, dude. Jerry, you're going in timeout. Jason,
What's that? Never heard of it.
Don't know that it's
What
okay. Your guess is as good as mine.
Jason, take his mic away.
That's all,
Mute.
guys. As I'm very, very adamant about, please, if you have the ability to get vaccinated, I know we're like lifting a lot of stuff, but it is still important. If you're able to, please get vaccinated. It is not over yet. You know, once it's fully gone, then I'll stop saying it, you know. But you know,
no, you're just gonna keep saying it. Like
keep saying
a
it
decade from now, just get vaccinated.
5 years.
It might not always be COVID, but it's
might,
like get vaccinated.
It might not be COVID. It might be something else. Be like, hey, you know what? Just get vaccinated. Just whatever it is, just get vaccinated. But be safe out there as always. Always thank you very much for being out here on this couch with us, Mary. You're always welcome back anytime. You know, it might be a new one next time. I'll fluff up the pillows, you know. But
fancy it up a little bit.
Maybe get great.
Right.
Maybe clean it since you're talking about things grooving on it.
Sir.
Just be kind. Rewind.
But yeah, just Matt did a great interpretation of me last time. I was gone, you know, and I need to do my little special shout outs.
There's gonna be a day that you need to pull out your version of Matt, like that needs to come out.
It will be, dude. Yo,
when he least expects it.
When he least expects it, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah,
I'm learning all of the lines already. You know, practicing in the mirror.
Nice.
But you gotta shave first.
So this is not coming up, sir. This
right.
But yeah, you know, special shout out to all you guys out there, the industry workers, both, you know, food service industry, retail, teachers, now that we're back with full like capacities, everything like that. you guys are underappreciated, and so please, just always special shout out over there, and as well as the international people. Please stay safe. That is very, very.
One quick shout out before we have Theo send us out.
Oh.
Shout out to Soldier.
Oh,
They
congratulations,
had
brother.
their baby yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
Congratulations,
So-
I hope they
Soldier.
named him Jason.
Yep. No. So yeah, congrats to Soldier and his wife on
Yes.
the baby. Baby's healthy and mama's doing well. So
Good.
Good.
right.
Good.
Theo,
Glad to
send us
hear it.
out.
My man. Theo.
Mary, thank you so much for joining. I'm definitely the suck up of us all, so I've already hit pre-order on your book. Just had to admit that and put that out there. But thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
Good night, everybody.